Madam Chairperson, it's not just greetings, because today is indeed a historical day in the history of the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party. But I want to first thank Madam Chairperson. I want to thank the conference chairman, the Honourable Marcella Liebert, Honourable Prime Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister, all the ministers of government, the great team, the winning team, all of the candidates of the great St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party, the members of the diplomatic corps, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, all you great comrades of this great institution. Give yourselves a round of applause. I have come to congratulate an illustrious political movement on its 82nd annual conference. That is a big achievement. Holding together as a heroic political force for the benefit and welfare of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis for over 8 decades is a tribute to your diligence and persistence as much as it is to the courage and fortitude of your forefathers. I bring you, comrades, fraternal greetings from the leader, the executive, and the membership of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, the Honourable Gaston Brown, who will be sworn in as Prime Minister on the morning of June the 13th, 2014. He sends you congratulations. He wishes the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party the very best in your deliberations during this very important and historical 82nd annual convention. Prime Minister in waiting Gaston Brown looks forward to visiting with our most important neighbor, our sister, St. Kitts and Nevis, shortly after the election campaign has ended in Antigua and Barbuda. For you see, our two political parties have a long, very long and rich tradition of cooperation and mutual respect dating back to the days of Sir Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw and Sir Vere Cornwall Byrd Sr., our national heroes. These two great leaders dismantled colonialism, beginning with the struggles in the 1930s, right up until statehood in 1967. They broke down all the social and class barriers in this country. The powerful trade unions which they led successfully tackled the challenges of their day. These two great men were born of the struggles of the working class people of these countries. When Winston Churchill said, and I quote, "I did not become Her Majesty's Prime Minister in order to dismantle the British Empire," end of quote. He did not know that leaders like Vere Byrd and Robert Bradshaw existed in these colonies. Our leaders succeeded in dismantling colonialism because they were courageous, they were determined, they were unrelenting. And leadership is the ability to transform vision into reality. Vision into reality. And these two great leaders from our two countries transformed our reality. They performed their duties not because they loved power for power's sake, but because history imposed upon them the power to create a new reality. To allow us, the people, the masses, to become masters of our own destiny, captains of our own ship, charters of our own course. But for Denzil Douglas, you ran with the baton that they passed to you on that long race that is service to your country. Inspired by their selflessness, their dedication to the nation, and their ambition to make this country great, you, Prime Minister Denzil Douglas, have worked industriously, tirelessly, to continue the noble task that they began. And you have succeeded. And you have succeeded well. Today, your country's standard of living surpasses that of the majority of developing nations of the world, not just of the Caribbean. Today, your people in St. Kitts and Nevis' quality of life is equal to that of people in many highly developed countries. Today, St. Kitts and Nevis is admired by many and respected by many more. And you deserve heartiest congratulations and warmest applause. And comrades, I am delighted to congratulate you, to applaud you on behalf of the Antigua Labour Party and its leader, the Honourable Gaston Brown, from whom I bring these greetings and good wishes. Madam Chairman, no movement becomes grand without a talented and skillful leader. None. However good the team, the captain makes the critical difference. For it is the captain who must have the vision, who must determine the strategy, who must employ the tactics for success, to chart the course and the destiny of his country and his people. And those principles are as true for sport as it is for business and for the conduct of the affairs of a nation. A poor captain, a weak leader, and an indecisive forerunner will lead the best of teams to catastrophe. You, the membership of the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party, and the people of St. Kitts-Nevis are fortunate to have as your leader a man who may be small in size, but who is large in stature, big in heart, generous, caring, loving for the poor, and whose every single fiber and sinew in his body, in his blood, in his veins, is devoted to the well-being and upliftment of this country and his people. A man who is celebrated internationally for the eminence of his work, despite the small size of this nation from which he proudly comes. You are blessed. You are blessed by the leadership of the Right Honourable Denzil Douglas. This is a man whose leadership has taken the people of St. Kitts-Nevis to the rank of the richest in the organization of the Eastern Caribbean states. This is a man whose leadership has sent St. Kitts to the rank of 72nd of 194 nations on the United Nations Human Development Index. This is a man whose vision turned adversity into opportunity. When in the wake of the collapse of the sugar industry, he envisaged the Citizenship by Investment program that has financed sustainable development projects to improve lives of the people, creating wealth for you, the people of his beloved nation. PM, this is your 4th term, and you still have the overwhelming support of the popular vote of this country. And that is why you shall, with your team, get a 5th term. You have great and wide international presence, of which we all in the Caribbean, not just in St. Kitts and Nevis, can be proud of. You are the dean or the doyen, as they say, or the longest serving head of government of the CARICOM region. And that is why all the prime ministers depend on you, and they consult, and even the international bodies on all kinds of topics. And the prime minister, you have moved this country from just a middle-income country to a higher-income country, one of only 4 in the entire region, the others being Bahamas, Trinidad, and Barbados. Can you imagine that? Bypassed Antigua, bypassed St. Lucia, all of them. This Labour government has now made sure that all workers are now entitled to gratuity payment after leaving employment after 10 years. We don't even do that in Antigua. This Labour government has increased the minimum wage of government employees. We're only talking about doing it in Antigua for 9 years. Since in office, this Labour government under the Right Honourable Denzil Douglas leadership has increased the workforce by 50%, the highest number employed ever in this country. We are the highest in manufacture exports. You are the number one country in investments, number one in economic growth, and a computer for every single student. Come on, man. That's labor. That's the house of labor. A house that has a heart of love for its people. The strides that you have made in education, that St. Kitts-Nevis is now leading the entire CARICOM region in mathematics and English in CXC at O level. But these days, comrades, these days, as the 21st century reaches its teen years, both the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party and the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, we face different challenges. Our country faces significantly different trials today. Attracting foreign direct investment in order to spur job creation, wealth for our people, is the foremost task which our leaders face. But under the leadership of the Right Honourable Denzil Douglas, you were and are successful in overcoming this major challenge. The Citizenship and Investment Program which Prime Minister Denzil Douglas inherited has been significantly revamped by your government. Well respected internationally, globally. The benefits flowing from this program are significant and worthy of praise. A slew of new hotel and upscale housing projects have emerged and been reformulated. Look around the landscape of this country. I have been shown nearly 60 new projects around the country that have generated permanent jobs, high incomes, and resounding benefits for the people of St. Kitts-Nevis. But Prime Minister Denzil Douglas recognized that exporting sugar was unsustainable. What was once an economy dominated by sugarcane, by the plantocrats and the white man, for more than 3 centuries, an economy that left the people and your children and your children's children landless and in perpetual poverty. That has now been transformed into an economy based on tourism, IT, financial services, and light manufacturing. This new economy has launched a new era in the development of St. Kitts-Nevis. Housing has been modernized. Infrastructure has been advanced. You have some of the best roads in the Caribbean. Economic opportunities for new businesses have mushroomed. Health, social services, and sports have vastly improved. So that sugar industry diversification foundation that they want to criticize so much, it is that created to smooth that transition from the past to the present. It was the outcome of the imagination and the creativity and the foresight brought to bear by Prime Minister Denzil Douglas. His boldness, his superb leadership have been the twin servants of the people of St. Kitts-Nevis. And let me say this to them and to the detractors. He has exercised power for the benefit of the people. And he knows that his power flows from you, the people, intended to make their lives better. St. Kitts-Nevis has become a model state in the OECS, in the CARICOM, and in the hemisphere. And under the Honourable Denzil Douglas, you have addressed successfully the challenge of youth unemployment, generating jobs for school leavers, providing an income for young men and women, desirous of starting families, owning homes, studying abroad, to earn college degrees and come back and make a contribution to your country. Look at what you have now done, you and your government. The People Empowerment Program, PEP, which provides training employment for those entering the job market, is an invention that wins applause from your neighbors in the OECS. And Prime Minister Douglas has to be congratulated for that program. And as I've said earlier, and I repeat, don't take it lightly, because you must be proud of it. evidence of your country's success in the last publication of the United Nations Human Development Index. Understand that in a world of 194 sovereign nation states, including the great United States of America, Canada, Great Britain, little St. Kitts-Nevis in 2012 is ranked 72nd and climbing. And you have climbed the ladder and you're ahead of more than 120 countries whose natural endowments exceed yours, whose populations are larger, whose resource base is greater. But you know what? You know how it was achieved? Good leadership. Good leadership truly matters. Performance counts. This is not time for neophytes. The Honourable Denzil Douglas performs. His achievement counts. And the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party is very fortunate to have this great leader at the helm. And tell them on the other side and the detractors that leadership matters. Far-sightedness matters. Creativity matters. And Denzil Douglas has shown that he's creative, far-sighted, and he's an accomplished leader that you ought to be proud of. And I go as far as to say, without any regret, beyond the shadow of any doubt, just as Bradshaw was the father of your nation and national hero, beyond the shadow of any doubt, Denzil Douglas is the father of modern St. Kitts-Nevis. He's the father of modern St. Kitts-Nevis. And I want the parliamentarians to go to Parliament and pass a special act and name him. He don't want no Nitro, he don't want no QC. He wanted from his people. Name him the father of modern St. Kitts because he has transformed this country. And give him his flowers, now he's here. He created a tourism industry as he did on the ashes of the burnt-out sugar production. He created an economic tiger in the OECS. He created a diamond in the rough. That's the envy of the whole Caribbean. Just look at what his stewardship has achieved. From the CIP and his contribution, the money it puts to the Sugar Industry Diversification Foundation. And I said there are almost 60 investment projects on the ground, including Beacon Heights, Tamron Cove Marine Development, Christophe Harbour, Range Development, Kittition Hill, just to name a few. You think those neophytes can go out there? They say travel too much. You think they can go out there and bring investment to this country like him? All they will do is jump on a plane and pick up per diem and pocket it. Comrades, the fabric of our society in this Twin Island Federation has changed. We are now the doctors. We are now the lawyers. We are now the businessmen, the farmers, the building contractors, the skilled workers, and the tradesmen in our own country. It is now our children that occupy the places at university, not the children of Massa. The positions in the banks are held by your children. And we are our own parliamentary representatives. Thanks to the leadership of your forefathers and this great man that continues. And whatever the critics and detractors may say, those projects translate into real and tangible jobs for Kittitians and Nevisians, food on the table for hundreds of families, more business for the business community, and a better life for all. And I was a regular visitor to St. Kitts-Nevis over many years. But they tell me in Antigua I must come down here and get a St. Kitts passport because I'm down here more than in Antigua. But we share a common bond. St. Kitts and Antigua Labour Party shares a bond over the years. I'm not here by mistake. V.C. Bird and Bradshaw were best of friends, brothers in the struggles in the early days. You have every justification to be proud and every reason to be particularly proud of your leader. And that he has had the strength of mind and the will of purpose to be focused on his responsibility to guide your nation's development, even as he tolerated dissension and disaffection from within the party's ranks, is an accolade to his devotion to the nation's business and to his people's welfare, because he always kept his calm. I know I'll get blows in the press, but my back and shoulders broad. And I'm going to say it today, comrades. Those persons who once claimed that they love this great institution, the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party, if they really had the interests of this party at heart, and you, the delegates, and the supporters and the comrades, and they thought it was time to remove Denzil Douglas, they should follow the lead of our young, ambitious, democratic, and fair-minded leader, Gaston Brown in Antigua. Challenge Denzil Douglas at this forum, at this convention, on this convention floor. Just like what Gaston Brown did 2 years ago, but not try to destroy and betray this great labor institution, this great labor movement for their own personal self-aggrandizement. This is a democratic institution with a philosophy that is built strong nearly 100 years. And no 2 men or 3 men are going to destroy it. And nobody's indispensable. This is an institution built for the masses of the people. And as your next door neighbor, I'm very much aware of the challenges to the Prime Minister's leadership in the last 18 months or so. And it has emerged from within. Those who are interested in replacing the leader of the party, they should rely on this forum, you the delegates. That is the process. Provide challenges from within. That is the view of my political leader, Gaston Brown. That's what he did in Antigua. He did it once, he lost in 2005, and then in 2012 he was successful. But it cannot be right, comrades, to undermine the work of the Labour Party, your work, your sacrifice, what you're committed to. This is not just about Denzil Douglas. It's about you and your families and the comrades and the thousands of labor rights and the citizens of this country is at stake. Not about 3 personalities. And then they're joining hands with those who wish to see the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party fail. The objective of any ruling Labour Party is grounded in the history of bringing greater benefits to the people who elected a majority to office. And he has a majority. And power must never be sought for his own sake. The object of exercising power must be for the benefit of the people, not for the self-aggrandizement of leaders. Prime Minister Douglas knows this only too well, and that's why he has such a humble, big, generous heart of humility. But of particular note is even while he contended with the decision of former colleagues to separate from this great founding political movement of the people of St. Kitts-Nevis, he did not once falter in his duties and obligations to the nation as Prime Minister. Not once. As Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, he brought down national debt. He convinced creditors to accept the terms and conditions more favorable to the state, including land for debt swaps that have given the government greater fiscal space to deliver programs that benefit people directly in education, in health, and in jobs. And Dr. Douglas also did not neglect the interests of neighboring countries or the plight of small states in the international community. We all know that he has been a relentless champion in the battle to secure financial and other resources to address the pandemic of HIV/AIDS on the international stage. And every single country in the Caribbean owes him a debt of gratitude for his exemplary role, a role publicly acknowledged by former US President Bill Clinton, who revealed that it was Denzil Douglas who urged him, and I quote, to fix the problem and cause them to turn his rhetoric into action. His successful performance in reducing the national debt of this country has proved so inspiring to the Commonwealth of Nations that the heads of government turned to him. They turned to him to lead the argument with the IMF and the World Bank and other international financial institutions on the urgency of addressing the debt and financing challenges of small, open, vulnerable economies. This is the quality of the man, the leader, the champion of the people, Denzil Douglas. And we of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party have watched the magnificent accomplishments of Dr. Denzil Douglas with admiration, sir, and with respect. For while he has superintended a government in St. Kitts-Nevis, he has reduced debt, attracted investment, created jobs, given young people a future, and older people contentment. We in Antigua and Barbuda have seen our national debt rise astronomically. We have endured extravagant high taxes on our people. We have suffered extremely high unemployment, among our youth especially. We have borne the weight of an economy that has contracted year after year with absolutely no investments. But you, the people of St. Kitts-Nevis, are meeting your challenges, vanquishing development, tribulations, and enjoying the benefits of hard work, intelligent leadership, visionary planning, and the people is determined to succeed. But as you know, on June the 12th, the people of Antigua and Barbuda will have the chance to put an end to the last 10 years of misery that we have had to tolerate. And we expect that the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, which like the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party, was the catalyst of the people's political awakening and the instrument of their economic progress, will be given the mandate to correct the failures of the present government and to restore our nation's economy to health and prosperity. And when I return to Antigua tomorrow, I will tell my people of the great achievements of the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party. I will share with my people the evidence of your country's success, and I will tell of the importance of strong and effective leadership. The people of St. Kitts-Nevis are moving forward. The country which you have worked so hard to build is trampling down the grapes of underdevelopment. You have a great country. You have a great leader. He's seen as a visionary, applauded by all. CARICOM, the international stage, he has brought relief to thousands of sufferers. Your Prime Minister is a great man, a great human being, and a wonderful leader. And in that mighty endeavor which we will embrace with the commitment of resolution, the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, we will reach out to you, our comrades in the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party. We will engage with your government and your celebrated leader, Dr. Denzil Douglas. As neighbors, we will seek collaborative efforts that will improve the well-being of both of the peoples. For you of the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party, like we of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, are champions of the cause of which our founders, I said, Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw and Vere Cornwall Byrd pledged. They pledged their lives, their fortunes, their sacred honor, their sweat of their brow. That cause was to make our country strong and our people prosperous. Comrades, if that is the cause to which you remain dedicated, then you must re-elect Denzil Douglas. You got to re-elect him and the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party to lead you to victory at this nation's general elections whenever he decides to call it. He's by far man for this season and for all seasons. For all good reasons I've given here, and many of more which could have speak of, but I have spoke long enough. I urge you, comrades, to stay with your winning formula, and a formula that has modernized and enhanced your country and your people. A formula devised and delivered by Denzil Douglas for the benefit of all. So I call on you, comrades, stand up for St. Kitts-Nevis. Stand up for the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party. Stand up for your outstanding leader, the Right Honourable Dr. Denzil Douglas. And in concluding, in the words of the hymnal, Bring to our troubled minds, uncertain and afraid, the quiet of a steadfast faith, calm of a call obeyed. Increase justice in our land, that all may dwell secure, and finally build for days to come foundations that endure. Stronger, better, ready, full confidence. God bless you. God bless the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party. God bless the Right Honourable Dr. Denzel Douglas. God bless St. Kitts and Nevis. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Show me your voting finger. Raise up your voting finger.